folks. An event happened this week that I said this would make one of them good church videos. Old Elon Musk come in. He pulled a snooker move on Twitter, and now starting to buy him out. The whole reason he's wanting to do it is Twitter's, I would like to say, lack of free speech, a lack of allowing free speech. He feels that Twitter's the public square and free speech should be allowed, and he's got the money to back it up, so.
In 1.25 miles, exit right, then turn right.
And I mean, I agree with him. Now, when I was young, is when all this, well, no, it actually started long before then, but we had freedom of speech, and the whole we always heard your teachers and stuff tell you is, you have freedom of speech, you just can't do something like yell fire in a crowded theater.
Exit right, then turn right.
You know, you couldn't say something where your words would put people in peril.
Turn right.
You
On route.
like I say, you couldn't do anything that would put people. You couldn't say anything that put, you know, you yelled fire in a crowded theater, and you know, people get trampled to death. You tell a blind person it's okay to walk through that door, and not tell them that it's off the side of a building. You know, you get my gist of it. Then in the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s, we came up with hate speech. And this is where we really screwed up. It's and I am not condoning whatsoever people using this kind of speech against other people. And one of the big propagators of this is the internet. Like a wise man once said, one of the things that's destroyed the world is the ability of somebody to say something online without getting punched in the face for it. Where people got confused over the years was freedom of speech and freedom of expression is not freedom from consequence. You burn an American flag in front of a Marine, you probably gonna get your ass whooped. Now you're free to do it. There'll be no legal consequences you burning that flag. And you can tell everybody what a badass you was once the swelling goes down. Just like you can't call a man's, well, no, you can. You call a man's wife ugly names in front of him all you want. But when he knocks your teeth out, you had your freedom of speech. You just don't have freedom from consequence. Like if you go to an inner city neighborhood, you start hurling the N-word around and they never see you again, you was free to do it. How does it make them, you know, what they do to you or any of these other examples I give right? No, but it's a lot of people's natural reaction. You know, that Marine that you burnt the flag in front of, well, he may have had friends that died for that flag. And it just means that much to him. You know, Lord knows you don't come between a man and his wife. Not unless you like bruises. And the other example I gave, well, just use some common sense. But like I say, you're free to say whatever you want. And see, that's now we've got the hate speech. Now anytime you say something that get this wrong, hate speech was invented by one particular political persuasion. And now if you say anything they don't agree with, it's classified as hate speech, which means it makes it okay to censor you. And that has developed to the point that we've allowed ourselves to pull a sitting president off of social media. Because Orange Man say bad things. No, Orange Man told you the truth and you didn't like to hear it. And now you can see it in the news, in what your politicians are telling you. When they talk, you know they are flat out lying through their teeth to you. You know it. You've seen the proof of it. But they do it with a perfectly straight face because they know there is not an opposing view out there to challenge them. They tell you the sky is red, the sky is red. They tell you this 100 times a day. And there's nobody out there to say, no, these people are full of it, the sky's blue. After a while, the general mob just kind of accepts it as the truth. We've seen that with a lot of news stories over the last 20 years. They'll say something so often that the mob just kind of accepts it. You can see one happening right now, just as an example. Putin's price hike. If you think that the reason this country's economy is going to hell is Vladimir Putin invading Ukraine, you need to wake the hell up. Go back longer than 2 months ago. You'll see this economy was going to hell well before Russia ever stepped foot in Ukraine. But they're feeding it to you. Anything that's wrong, it's valid. It's Putin's fault. Putin's price hike. Putin's inflation. Ain't gonna be long. They're gonna be blaming a robbery down at the local corner store on Putin. It's become he's become the villain of the hour. Now, I ain't saying that Putin ain't a bad guy, and that he ain't done some bad things. I'm 100% in support of Ukraine, throwing him out on his ass, but he's not to blame for everything. Now, just like in what the reason this stuff works is because there's a kernel of truth. There's gas prices, inflation was all well up when he attacked Ukraine, but it went up some more after he attacked. So he's contributed, but he's not the reason. The textbook definition of inflation is excess money supply. And we have an excess money supply because a couple years ago the government went to printing money like it was water. At the beginning of the COVID thing, they decided that opening up the monetary floodgates was the answer. That's where our inflation's come from. That partially, and then this supply chain getting run through the ringer hasn't helped either. And that's nowhere near being fixed. And the monetary supply thing, the only way to fix that's raise interest rates, which is going to cause a lot more pain. But like I say, we were talking about free speech. We started out talking about Elon Musk buying out Twitter. I think this quite possibly could be the greatest thing for free speech in this country in the last 50 years at least. Back since the Civil Rights Movement. We've let our free speech get taken away. I thought we was going to have to fight to get it back. But by the luck of the draw, or as chance would have it, got one man with a whole ass load of money. Solid morals. It's going to stand up for all of us. Now, I fully expect the liberals to dig their feet in and refuse to sell. Well, then they're going to get their ass sued off. Everybody knows the golden rule. He with the gold makes the rules. Well, they're going to fight Elon, and they're going to fight Elon, and they're going to fight Elon. I have no doubt. But in the end, I think he's still going to end up with it. And he's going to put all them snowflakes out on their asses. Tell them to go find a real job. And the world will be a better place. That's the sermon for today. I'll come out with something else to talk about. Well, I'll catch you on the flip side. Y'all have a fine day.